Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video. And today, I've got a wild one in the chamber for you. This is from Patreon subscriber Noyan, who wanted me to brew up a Greasefang Okiba Boss Legacy Reanimator deck. Greasefang is apparently a thing that people are doing in Historic to reanimate Parhelion 2. I don't really play Arena these days, so I had no idea, but Noyan tuned me into it. And not only is it a deck in Historic, it's starting to creep into Pioneer as well. Even whispers of it in Modern, but I haven't seen anything about it in Legacy yet, so we might be breaking new ground here. Greasefang Okiba Boss. 1 white-black, legendary creature - rat pilot. 4/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, return target vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of your next end step. You go into combat, and you return Parhelion 2 to play, which conveniently has crew 4, which is Greasefang's power. So Greasefang can crew this vehicle all on its own. Parhelion 2 is a flying first strike vigilance 5/5. Whenever it attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking. That's a lot of juice. Only takes 2 hits from a Parhelion to end a game. Greasefang can crew it himself. And a really cool thing about Greasefang is that at the end of the turn where it reanimates a thing, it doesn't get exiled or dies. It's not like Sneak Attack or Shallow Grave or anything. It goes to your hand. So this is actually card advantage with an attack phase in between, which leans into the discard looting version of this deck. The shell that I chose to put it in is a Goblin Welder shell. I knew I wanted to play Daretti in this deck when I went in. Other than that, wasn't really sure where to go. I really wanted to try Shurakari. That's the commander mech, the 2 blue-white 8/8 that makes pilots and filters cards. But that makes you an Esper deck, and Esper doesn't include red, and I really wanted Daretti and Goblin Welder in the pile, and I didn't want to be 4-color. That seems like a lot to ask when we're trying to do this thing, so I probably spent more time on this deck than I have in any other deck recently, just to figure out what shell I want to go in, and how I'm going to keep up with the Legacy format while I'm doing it. And where I landed was this Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer, Daretti deck, that also includes Azmoran, because she likes when you discard cards. She also likes when you have lots of artifacts and helps you make them. She's a removal spell. And if you're playing Underworld Cookbook anyway, Oval Chase Daredevil becomes a card that makes sense, which is also a card that makes sense in a deck with Faithless Looting and Daretti and lots of artifacts to bring it back. This all sort of clicked together. It might be completely insane, but it might be, I don't want to say brilliant, but it might be playable also. And we're still playing Legacy. You do have to keep up with the format. So I put Tanglewire in. I love me a Tanglewire, especially when you can loop it with Engineer and Welder. Tanglewire, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they tap an untapped artifact creature or a land they control for each fade counter on Tanglewire. This is usually 2 or 3 time walks when you resolve this card. Your deck's better built to tap the Tanglewire. And the messed up thing about Tanglewire is it can tap itself, and you can stack the triggers so it fades first, then you tap. So your opponent has to tap 4 things right away. And then you basically tap 2 things because it fades down to 3, and the Tanglewire includes itself. Your opponent always loses significantly more resources than you do under a Tanglewire. Tanglewire can buy time for Smokestack. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a set counter on Smokestack. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a permanent for each set counter on Smokestack. We're going to have lots of foods laying around. We're going to have Tanglewires that are almost dead laying around. We might have Parhelion Angels laying around. We're going to have more permanents laying around than the opponent is. So Smokestack is going to be worse for them than it is for us. We can also weld Smokestack away if we've had enough. This makes sense in my brain. I hope it makes sense in practice. Goblin Engineer overlays with the Greasefang plan because you could search your library for any artifact and put it into your graveyard. This is just Entomb for Parhelion for the most part. It can only get back artifacts with mana value 3 or less, but it can entomb any artifact. That's the Parhelion. Goblin Welder has no such limitations. It can turn a food token into a Parhelion if it would like. Oval Jay's Daredevil also happens to have 4 power. And when I say happens to have, I said it during Greasefang, during Oval Jay's Daredevil. It's not like, oh, that's so lucky. This is Wizards of the Coast planning, like set design, card design over many years. We have this card from Kaladesh with 4 power, and this card from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty with 4 power, and this vehicle from War of the Spark that has crew 4. That's because Wizards of the Coast has internal numbers that they try to, like knobs they turn to make sure that cards make sense over years. And we have 3 different vehicle-themed cards from 3 different blocks in 3 different eras of Magic that all line up correctly. Kudos to Wizards for that. And it also makes this deck function. We are at least a little bit of black deck because of Greasefang, so there can be points where we cast Oval Chase Daredevil to crew a reanimated Parhelion. Just a lot of overlapping pieces here that I hope make sense. Obviously, it's Delver's world. We're all living in it. Delver is a powerful deck that we're going to have to keep up with. 8-cast is out there in these streets, and decks are full of pernicious deeds and meltdowns and things that are going to overlap with us in terrifying ways. But that comes with the territory. Had to make it work somehow. I believe that this deck makes sense in theory. All the cards were chosen on purpose, and we'll just see if it can keep up with Legacy, because there is a plan here. I think it's pretty well constructed for the madness that it's trying to accomplish. The only variable is what 5 decks we queue into this league. Let's try it out. I'm on the play in round 1. Distressingly low mana count. I do have a land, a cookbook, and Daredevil, but no red. Both Smokestacks in my opener. This is a mulligan. Okay, this one is much better. Snap keep this. I can use both Daredevils to go nuts with looting, or I can hold on to one. I think I need both of the goblins, and I need the looting. All right, I'm going to bottom one of the Daredevils. And I'm going to lead on the bridge, so I have the correct colors of mana. Let's go. Volcanic Island Delver right away. All right. We are not wasting any time on this one. Oh, yeah. Well, we got big money here for this Faithless looting. Looting? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. I can put back, or discard Daredevil and Parhelion. I can cast Goblin Welder, which, if they spend a counterspell on, unlocks Greasefang, and I drew Ancient Tomb to play around Daze. Still in trouble to Force of Will, but maybe we have a turn 3 Parhelion. And by maybe, I mean we definitely have a turn 3 Parhelion, at least like in Goldfish World, which is what I was talking about. There's the Daze. That will not suffice. Oh, Wasteland's real good. Oh god, no. Talked a lot of shit. Got punished for it. It's okay. We still have Ancient Tomb for Goblin Engineer, which the opponent is not capable of dazing me through. 1, 2, 3. Engineer, play around Daze. Let's go. What do I want to entomb here? We get Tanglewire, try to buy some time. Yeah, I'll drop a Tanglewire in there. That might be necessary to survive. Yeah, we're just getting Delvered here. Had the days covered. Was in good shape if they didn't have Lightning Bolt, but they had Lightning Bolt and Wasteland. Welcome to Delver. And now I'm tapping an Ancient Tomb just to try to keep up while I'm taking 3 from Delver every turn. They've got Petty Theft on my Engineer. That's not the worst. Come on, Spire of Industry off the top. Another Parhelion. Tilt. I'm gonna play this Welder. We got a Ponder from the opponent. Another Wasteland. Sweet Jesus. Alright, I might have to just desperately Tangle Wire. If they have Lightning Bolt, I am so dead. Ooh, Azmoran. Not particularly helpful here. But I'm gonna float red and turn my land into Tangle Wire. This is the only thing resembling any sort of plan that I have here. Get back my Daredevil, and that's the turn. I can tap them out for at least 1 turn, maybe 2, and then turn Tangle Wire into something else several turns from now. There's one. The event's tapped. Okay. And then I can flip Tangle Wire into something else now, or I need another turn. Yeah, I'm just going to have to try to give my deck a chance to draw some lands. Alright, that's a land. I'll put it into play. And they have to tap 3 things this time. Let's see if they want mana or if they want to push for damage. Pushing for damage makes sense to me. Oh, they had mana also. They had it all. Right, get in for 3. And then I can fade, tap Tangle Wire and Great Furnace. Tap Tangle Wire and Great Furnace. Draw a land. Alright, it's a land. Well, I'm at 2. I am dead to Lightning Bolt. But I've moved this as far as I can move it. Mystic Sanctuary, rebuying Lightning Bolt. Okay, I'm dead. Bummer. We actually, like, the turn 1 Delver into those things, if they played the entire same game they just played, but Delver wasn't attacking for 3 every turn, I think I actually win this. You know, obviously it's a Delver deck, and that's what they had. Like, I'm not, like, alternate timelines, but, yeah. That was honestly competitive for how insane their draw was, and this being the best deck in the format. I'm just out here trying to have like a Harlem Globetrotters game, and we pair straight into LeBron James. Trinisphere could hurt me more than them. Ensnaring Bridge, I'm interested in. Like, I do need to attack to win the game with this deck, but between the Tangle Wire, Smokestacks, all the Engineers, I can flip Bridge out when I'm not ready for it. Also, just like an Azmoran to kill Delver goes a long way here. I think I need to, like, the options here are get skinnier on Greasefang. Like, I know that's the reason for the season here, but we also are playing a Nightmare matchup. Daretti's a 4-drop against the Days Wasteland deck. 1 Parhelion, 2 Greasefangs in the deck. That's enough to entomb the Parhelion when I'm ready for it, and I won't get Greasefang flooded. Cookbook is important. Looting's important. Welder, Engineer, all important. My opponent's probably going to have Surgicals in. How do I win a game if it gets Surgical extracted? Probably I have to Smokestack and Tangle them. Do I need all 4 Daredevils? Okay, I'm going to try it like this. Just bring in removal spells and combat. Like, I'm not going to try to Trinisphere this opponent. They have Wasteland in their deck, and I don't, and I have no way other than Smokestack to remove their lands from play. Like, I'm not really punishing under a Trinisphere. Alright, this hand does not make colored mana. I'm going to mulligan it. Oh, this is so dangerous. I'm in. Okay, I'm going to put Goblin Engineer or the second Welder. I'm going to put Engineer away. I'm going to play Welder and hope I get a turn with my resources in play. I can Faithless Looting into discard Tangle Wire, Smokestack, and then weld them back. Like, if they just play Delver here, I might be in good shape. All right, creature. That's what I meant by Delver. All right, come on. Resources I can use. Nice. Faithless. Oh, I should play around days. Let's make sure this Faithless looting. Give it the best chance to resolve. Okay, Daredevil and Smokestack. I'm just going to put Smokestack into play. Get to work. Discard Daredevil and Smokestack. Play another Welder. And I'm going to pass the turn. I'm going to figure out the right time to do this. I think it's in their upkeep. I could also just like wait until both Welders are active. All right, I'm going to try to be patient and play around Surgical here. Leaving up Welder also plays around Wasteland, because if they try to Wasteland me, I can flip. Okay, I actually think the time is now. They're about to see 4 cards. Let's see if I can make my move. All right, they had the Surgical, whatever. Luckily, this is Welder and not the other one, Engineer, because Engineer sacrifices an artifact as part of the cost. Welder exchanges them, and if there's nothing to exchange, no part of it happens. So I get to keep my land. That was an unfortunate Surgical. The power level of this deck is here, though. I mean, we're playing against the Ruthless Killing Machine Delver, which I keep pointing out. Okay. All right, we don't need to keep playing. Yeah, this was a Ruthless Murder Machine that also drew extremely well. But the raw power of this deck, like we had a turn 3 Parhelion through days on the Goldfish last game, and then this game we had a turn 2 Smokestack on the Goldfish. Legacy is a powerful interactive format. We didn't get to resolve on any of those things, but you can see how this would work. On to the next one. I'm on the play in round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. I have a Goblin Engineer that I can play through a daze on turn 2. I have the mana to cast it. Greasefang is here. Azmoran's here. We have all of the payoffs, just need a little taste of enabling. Oh god. Is this another volcanic island? Oh no. At least they cast Ponder instead of Delver. Yeah, this is the Russian roulette of the Legacy leagues. Sometimes you don't see Delver for 3 or 4 leagues, and sometimes you play against it 4 times in a league. Hopefully we get some variety here. The bridge. I think I want to Engineer now. At least threaten that. And then I can Greasefang in the future. I think I just dump Parhelion. Though, yeah, I would have to draw Daretti or Faithless Looting to get a Parhelion into the Parhelion in my hand into the graveyard. Or Underworld Cookbook does it too. The option is like I could just get a Tanglewire and flip into Tanglewire if I need to buy time against this deck. I think that's probably a more likely outcome. Lightning Bolt, easy money. Alright, I would love to draw an Underworld Cookbook right now. Or a redundant Azmoran I can't play. That's cool too. And now I'm kind of regretting not binning a Parhelion, but at the same time, they might not have had to bolt if I didn't get something scary. I can jam Smokestack next turn. If it flushes out a daze, I'm happy with that. They could slam Murktide Regent right now. That would be unfortunate. Okay, there's Delver. Still interested in an Underworld Cookbook. Or a Faithless Looting, or similar. Or the 3rd Azmoran. Jeez. Yep, clean little daze. Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough that Delver is a hyper-efficient deck like this, but we are running really bad too. At least in this game. Drawing 3 of the same redundant legend that I can't cast the first copy of. Tough break. Delver didn't flip. And they didn't shuffle away the card. That's scary. Like, Murktide Regent and Wasteland are both cards that they wouldn't flip Delver, but they would also want to keep. Expressive Iteration was not what they just picked up, because that would have flipped Delver. Polluted Delta. Alright. Wasteland is like the eye roll that I'm probably just dead on the spot to. DRC. Alright. Come on, Cookbook. Cook the book. Cook the book. Daredevil. Oh no. I have all payoffs and no... Alright, I might as well put Greasefang into play. Dies the Lightning Bolt, gives away my whole plan, but like, here it is. Guess I also could have cast Oval Chase Daredevil and not given away my plan. But at this point, I have to play to my outs, and my outs are Cheese Parhelioning. Delver didn't flip again. The DRC might be the card that didn't flip Delver last turn, so we don't actually have the information that they have a non-spell in their hand. Expressive Iteration looking at 4 cards. Okay. They binned another EI. Terrifying. Neither of these creatures fly right now. Oh, Greasefang might actually hold the fort if they don't have a lightning bolt. Wasteland, shit. Waste one of my artifact lands. Oh god, yeah. Yep. They had lightning bolt and wasteland. The window is closing. And their DRC just got delirious. Ha! They did waste one of my artifact lands. Welcome to Pauper. That's not how that works. Okay. Deck. They gave me a window. Please let me capitalize on it. Ship that cookbook or Faithless Looting or something here to get the ball rolling. Faithless Looting off the top. Oh my god. All right. Please, deck. Faithless Looting. Don't force this. Don't force this. Okay. Discard Daredevil and Parhelion. And then I can play Azmoran. If they force this one, I can Great Furnace play another one. Now the redundant legends are paying out. Please Force of Will it, actually. I might play a redundant copy anyway. Oh, nice. We got flushed out one force. All right, force. Then I play Great Furnace, which gets back Daredevil. Then I can play another Azmoran. Please don't have another force. Now I'm actually in trouble. All right. Yes. Get Cookbook. And if I take 2 to play Cookbook, I'm at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be a little dangerous, but I don't think I have the room to not do it, quite frankly. Discard a card, create a food. Discard Daredevil, which creates a food, which is an artifact, which brings back Daredevil. And, all right, don't flip Delver, please. My engine is almost online here. That Faithless Looting was a heater. Oh no, Delver flipped. I'm at 1. They've cast 2 lightning bolts already. Can't tap Ancient Tomb anymore. There's Brainstorm. Get to look at 4 cards, looking for the 2 lightning bolts still in the deck. Sometimes they have a 4th copy or 5th copy in Chain Lightning. Sometimes they don't. Scalding Tarn, fetch. Mystic Sanctuary can put lightning bolt on top. All right, can you draw a card right now? If I get a turn, I can make some foods and gain some life, but dead to any like ponder type situation right now. Okay, I'm at 1. Boo. All right. Well, you could see how quickly the tables turn there. Like, if that Faithless Looting came on turn 4 instead of turn 6, the engine was almost there. We're so fucking close. All right. Pyroblast. And I think the Ensnaring Bridge is still important. Shave Parhelions. Shave a Greasefang. Shave a Daretti. And a Daredevil. This is what I did last round, and I don't see anything that looks better than this. And bringing in the Abrades is an option. I could Pithing Needle Wasteland. I could like Tormod's Crypt to make sure they're try to keep them off Delirium and slow down Murktide, but none of those seem better than just maintaining my main plan as much as I can while adding Disruption. Keep this one. I have Devil Cookbook immediately. I'm gonna lead on Bridge though. Just play around Daze. I have one of the 2 Greasefangs still in the deck. There's 1 Parhelion and 4 Goblin Welders to tutor it, or 4 Engineers. I do have the Delver right away. Tangle Wire. Okay. I don't really want my Cookbook to get dazed. I don't know if they would daze it, but I'm honest. Actually, like, compared to Tangle Wire, I would rather they daze this. And if they daze this, then they're expose to Tangle Wire even more because they have fewer permanents. But my cookbook's just in there. Don't even worry about it. Delver did not flip. Maybe they'll wasteland me again. That would be great. Second Delver. That's scary. Oh god, another permanent. Or are we casting Ponder? Alright, it's Ponder. The Delvers are likely to pop this turn, I think it's safe to say. I think I should have Daredeviled in response to Ponder, though. Because now they could have Surgical in their hand. But if they Surgical Daredevil, then they're not Surgicaling Parhelion, which I'm excited about. Did not shuffle with Ponder. In for 1. Always happy when that's not 3. End step. We're going to Daredevil. See if they have the Surgical. If they did not Surgical it. Mox Opal. Cool. Now I get to play around Daze. It's Spire of Industry, Mox Opal, and Slam Tangle Wire. They have to force it if they're going to interact with it. All right. We got a couple of time walks here, or at least pseudo time walks. And I'm actually going to Daredevil right now, where they've shown me they don't have Surgical, or at least they don't want to use it on this. Just get another piece there. And this is the engine coming together, like Tangle Wire tapping the foods and itself. Like none of my functional permanents are affected here, while they have to tap their whole shit for the turn. Delver reveals Lightning Bolt, so that makes Greasefang kind of a liability. But if I draw Parhelion right now, then, or Welder for Parhelion, but I don't have 5 mana, never mind. Alright, Wasteland does have a real target here. Wow. I think that's aggressive, but I respect it, sure. Okay, fading first, and then tap. Tangle Wire will tap my Tangle Wire and my 2 foods. Okie dokie, draw. Another Tangle Wire. That's how we do this. Right, play a bridge. Make another food. And I'm going to play around Daze with the other Tangle Wire. It's just, I can take 3 or whatever. And they have to decide if they want to cast a spell or attack. Wait, one of these Delvers didn't flip. How the hell did that happen? They revealed Lightning Bolt. They must have just, like, hit decline by accident, like, misclicked. I don't know. They were both in play when they revealed Lightning Bolt, right? I'm not making that up. There was no shuffles, nothing changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't quite Murktide here. Okay, stack the fading on top. Tap the Tangle Wire and the food. Draw a good card. Alright, Greasefang. 1, 2, 3. Another Tangle Wire. Do you have Force of Will, or are you tapping 6 permanents? Make another food. Okay, I do need this to go somewhere. Like, I've bought a lot of time. I've made a lot of foods. I need an Azmoran to come up and clean up these Delvers, or I need, like, a Smokestack to start pulling ahead, a Welder to loop these things. It's, this isn't going to hold forever. Surgical Extraction just revealed a Delver. That's a beating. Wasteland has no targets, but that's never stopped them before. Okay, tangle, tangle, fade, fade. The first Tangle Wire can now tap itself and be satisfied. I am going to wait until I draw to use my cookbook. 1, 2, 3. Another bridge. Okay, now I can cookbook. If they want to surgical this, I'm okay with it. This is not their surgical choice. I can play the first Greasefang, which they can Lightning Bolt, but they have to tap 4 permanents, and if they also Lightning Bolt, that's not quite all their permanents, but it's a lot. If they Lightning Bolt and Surgical my Greasefang, that would be super annoying, because I only have 2 in the deck, and they're both present across my hand and battlefield right now. Okay, they left up mana for Lightning Bolt and 1 Delver. The attacks can start attacking. The Bolt is here. Handled. Alright, the Tangle Wires are officially worked through at this point. And because fading is stupid compared to vanishing, a permanent doesn't leave play until you can't remove a fade counter on it, not when you remove the last one. So this Tangle Wire gets to exist for 1 turn with nothing. Oh, Goblin Welder, what's up, buddy? Okay. Discard Daredevil. And trigger. Bring it back. Other Greasefang. Get it into play before they can hashtag don't surgical that and actually get me with it. And Goblin Welder, let's go. Goblin Welder lets me bring back Tangle Wire. But they're about to unlock all their action here. Only 2 taps this turn. Well, they tapped a Delver instead of a basic. They must have a plan to cast spells this turn. Like Expressive Iteration into Murktide would be a pretty big turn. They have another land. Mystic Sanctuary is live. If they pick up their Lightning Bolt and then cast a cantrip, they can answer one of these things. Bummer. Yeah, this Welder showed up like a turn or two too late. Asmoran is still live AF though. And Bolt can only kill one of these 2 powerful permanents that I have in play. Uh-oh. No, they melted down for 3. That's bad. Big oof. I couldn't even eat any of the foods. Alright, deck. What can you produce for me here? A Goblin Welder can bring back Tangle Wire, but that doesn't really help. I can bring back Underworld Cookbook and keep the food hungry. I'm going to float red and weld this land into a cookbook. Yeah, they're so far out from under Tangle Wire at this point, it just doesn't even matter. I'm going to loot, or not loot, but whatever this is, whatever we want to call this. Daredevil. All right, they finally had enough. They're surgicaling the Daredevil. That's actually exciting because that unlocks my welders on Tangle Wire and the possibility of Parhelion. Oh wait, no it doesn't, because they still have the Lightning Bolt. But I can attack with Greasefang. Hell yeah, I've dealt damage to an opponent. Put that on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can put me to 4 with the Lightning Bolt in hand if they don't even care about my creatures. Another Wasteland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They do not have 9 permanents in play. Like, if they don't kill a Welder, I can just weld back both Tangle Wires and we can fart around for a while. Okay, that's a good permanent. Fuck. And where's the Lightning Bolt going? Last card in hand is Lightning Bolt. What am I doing here? Another Goblin Welder. Do I need a 3rd Welder? Or do I give up on Cookbook? Or do I give up on a land? Like, I think I have to weld both of these Tangle Wires into play. I'm still dead to Murktide if I do that, so I need to eat a food and then put both welders into, or Tangle Wires into play. Oh, that sucks. Okay, weld the first food into a Tangle Wire. Weld. So I'm gonna discard Welder now because I have to do it anyway. Might as well. Float red. Weld this tapped land into Tangle Wire. Gain 3 life. I am at exactly 1 on board with the cards that I know about. They have Lightning Bolt in hand and a 6/6 Murktide Regent. That's 9. I'm at 10. Oh, and they drew the land for Lightning Bolt. Come on. Come on. Now, even if I draw Parhelion, I can't do anything. Okay. I had, I think, mapped this out to summon exactly Parhelion. But the Lightning Bolt's going to make that not really an option anyway. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe I was a permanent short anyway. Oh, wait, no, it was exactly right. Okay, yeah. I had set it up. Or I counted out. I didn't set it up. I was doing what I needed to do to survive, but... all right. That was exciting. I mean, getting picked apart by Delver 2 games in a row, but, like, kind of almost making a game out of each of them. We're knocking at heaven's door here. Let's, maybe queue into something that's not Delver up next. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me.
Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I'm on the play in round 3. Unfortunately, have the wrong land to make this hand work. I'm gonna mulligan. This one looks a lot better. I'm gonna keep this and bottom one of the Parhelions. Okay, I'm gonna looting right away. And I'm gonna discard the Parhelion and maybe it's Great Furnace. Yeah, because I can still Tangle Wire off Ancient Tomb next turn. And the Dross Forge Bridge gives me Metalcraft and mana later. Alright, I'm gonna discard the Great Furnace. Opponent asked if I'm recording. They could have waited 1 second to know the answer to that. This Parhelion in the graveyard. Are we against elves? We are, okay. This is gonna be a race. Luckily, Tangle Wire is really good here. And I'm gonna drop the Opal, because that at least insulates on Tangle Wire. Let's go. Yeah, if I can just like chain Tangle Wires together until I find a Greasefang, this is actually like the match where we can do the thing. Okay, fade first. And I'm gonna leave Opal untapped. Or, yeah, I think that's the best one. Draw for turn, Cookbook. I play Drossfort, Bridge, play Cookbook. Hope I survive this turn, because they can tap Nettle, Sentinel, and Shepherd and Forest, and then get 2 mana off Cradle. And Shepherd can, and then Nettle Sentinel can untap itself. Could be in trouble. Yeah, if they have Heritage Druid plus bonus Elf here, could definitely just die. Or another Cradle. 2 Symbiotes. And another Cradle. Okay, okay. And Glimpse. Yeah, they're not done. Elvish Visionary. They've used their land drop. If Heritage Druid is one of the 3 cards in their hand, we're probably just dead. If it's not... Alright, Quirion Ranger. So they're out of juice for this turn. They've already used their land drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents in play for next turn. And they just attacked with Nettle Sentinel, though. So I got that going for me. Okay. Fade. I'm gonna tap Cookbook and Tangle Wire. I think I want access to all my mana. Ancient Tomb. If I flashback looting, what can that do? Like, I need Ancient Tomb and Tangle Wire to keep this game moving forward. I guess any land does it. And this does, like, flashing back looting does move me closer to Greasefang. But does that matter? Like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still dead with Tangle Wire. Yeah, I guess I have to looting. Smokestack and Mox Opal. Alright, well. At least those are 2 cards that I didn't need and aren't helpful. So, like, getting to leave Cradle untapped is so fucked. This isn't gonna... These Tangle Wires aren't gonna be enough. Yep, and there's Cradle left untapped. And Quirion Ranger and Wired Symbiote can untap everything else. You could just pay 6 into Allosaurus Shepherd and then untap 3 creatures with the Symbiote. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work because you have to bounce an elf. They would have 3 5/5s or 4 5/5s. Quirion Ranger can untap. Okay, Quirion Ranger can untap Allosaurus Shepherd. Bounce Quirion Ranger to untap Visionary. Replay Quirion Ranger, untap Nettle Sentinel. Yeah, they had lethal. They still have lethal. They generated an extra mana off this Dried Arbor with Cradle. Yeah, they're taking a different path here. There's Heritage Druid. Okay. Okay, they had 3 untapped elves and 6 mana again and chose to play Visionary. They're taking the scenic route. They're gonna win. Like, even if they at no point figure out that they could attack me for 15 with Allosaurus Shep, which they've had 2 opportunities to do already, I'm still gonna end up losing this one. Even if, like, if they pass the turn. Parhelion only attacks for 13. even if I rip the Greasefang. Just attacking for 3. Okay. Can I punish the Mist Lethal? Probably not. I don't think the deck is capable of punishing that. Okay, I have to tap 4 permanents. Tanglewire first, of course. And then Tanglewire. Is it the 2 Ancient Tombs? Or Cookbook Ancient Tomb? Yeah, it's probably Cookbook Ancient Tomb. Come on, Greasefang. Just let me do it once. Even if it doesn't win the game. Looting when I'm hellbent doesn't do anything. Alright. I'm dead. Double Cradle, out-muscling, Tanglewire. That's a way to do it. Just like we're playing Urza Block Constructed. Okay, Ensnaring Bridge and Trinisphere both seem pretty decent here. A Braid. I don't know that I'll ever catch them with a Smokestack. I think I have to focus on combo killing this opponent. Or at least getting Azmoran down and really controlling the situation. When I built the deck, I really tried to focus on the main deck plan, and I'm sure the sideboard is just severely lacking in a lot of places. I am not too proud to admit that. Tanglewire is still good. I want all my Greasefangs, all my Parhelions, because I have to go fast. I need Azmoran. Maybe Trinisphere is... No, Trinisphere is still good. Alright. I almost said Trinisphere is bad, but I don't think that's true with me on the play. It might be bad on the draw. And shave a Daredevil, I guess. I really like Daretti, and he's really good at getting Ensnaring Bridge into play. Tanglewire is important for Helion. I just don't think anything from like this entire 2/3 of the deck is an option to cut. Like every one of those cards is important. It might be a Parhelion. I know I'm built for speed here, but I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to go like this. My opponent said they did the math wrong, and then they tried to fix it, and it got worse. So they do know that they missed lethal. Okay, I am going to keep this. It has a turn 2 Tanglewire, if I want to go that route. Or I can turn 2 Goblin Welder, and then try to loot into something cracked on turn 3. But giving elves 3 turns, usually a mistake. Drawing Great Furnace would be cool, because then I can loot and still play my Welder. Ooh, Parhelion. Okay, that counts as cracked. I'm going to play Welder and my Bridge. Then I can loot, discarding Daredevil and Parhelion. Then play Tanglewire next turn, and hope that I have a next turn. Virtual Rangers, okay. That's not Cradle. Anything that's not Cradle counts as a win to me. Just put it on the fridge. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Well. Or you could have turn 2 Collector Oof along with 5 other permanents. Oh no. I literally don't think my deck can remove Collector Oof. I have a Braids in the deck, but all of my red sources are artifacts, and Ancient Tomb is the only non-artifact thing. Okay, whatever. That might be a blind spot. Damn. I was so excited. We were so close to doing it. On to the next one. On the draw for round 4. I'm going to keep this one. I have Parhelion, I have Cookbook. We got stuff to do. A snow-covered island. God, I hope this is some slow control deck that I can at least try to maneuver a board state into that does anything. Okay, I can... Alright, I'm going to play Bridge, and then Ancient Tomb next turn lets me cast Cookbook and Engineer. Ooh, Daretti. Big fan of that. Still going to lead on Goblin Engineer. Stifling the Entomb trigger, that's cool. Didn't need it in this particular case, because I have a Parhelion in hand and a discard outlet, all the same. Okay, go. Stifle in this deck is kind of scary, though. Ooh, we're a Stoneforge Mystic strategy. Umazawa's Jite, okay. Does that mean they already have Cauldra, or that they want to control my board? Ooh, I get to cast Daretti. Very excited about that. Okay, discard Daredevil. And get it back. Play Mox Opal. Play Daretti, hope they're not a Daze deck. Daretti's in there. Discard 2 cards. It's going to be Daredevil and Parhelion. And play my land for the turn, which gets back Daredevil. Alright, found Tanglewire. That's a heater. And Daretti can flip Parhelion into play. I can actually have Parhelion in play next turn with Daredevil to crew it. Parhelion doesn't have haste on its own, though. I've got to watch out for that. I think I might take my time just Tanglewiring this opponent, though. Let's see what happens. I can cast Tanglewire. And if I leave up mana when I do that, yeah, I'm going to cast Tanglewire. If they counter it, I can weld it back. All right, this is starting to look exciting. I should probably tangle them for a turn. I mean, they've shown me Stifle already, but nah, fuck that. Let's go. Cookbook. Discard Daredevil. Get a food. And then Daretti. Bring back Parhelion, sacking a food. Play... I can Faithless Looting here too. Hope they don't have Hull Breacher. I could also just wait on that. But why would I... No, Hull Breacher is just so devastating here that I can't. Faithless Looting. Alright, go. Do you have a Batterskull in your hand? Yeah, I mean, tapping Jite does soften the blow of Tanglewire, but they're not going to connect with Jite this turn. Oh, leaving up white. Come on. White is such a good color to leave up. Swords to Plowshares. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna stack the Tanglewire, fade 1. Then I'm gonna tap Tanglewire and 2 foods. Okay, draw for turn. I'm gonna activate Daretti first. Discard Daredevil and White Bridge. Found a Greasefang. And then I can play my land for turn, which gets back Daredevil. And then I think I want a Faithless Looting here. Looting. All right, there's Azmoran. That's exciting. I discard. All right, is there a way to Greasefang and crew twice? I don't think so. Oh, Parhelion's a legend, so that doesn't matter. I think I discard the Opal and the Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil and Opal. Go to the graveyard. Then I can cast Azmoran, who tutors up another cookbook. This also gives me 4 power to crew the Parhelion with, even if I don't Daredevil. Seems kind of crazy to me that Parhelion doesn't have any sort of hexproof. This is an 8 mana thing that you have to also have 4 power in play before it does anything. Come on, WotC. Protect my play experience. Isn't that what Fire Design's all about? Alright, I can crew Parhelion. Or I could... I think I want a Greasefang and use that to crew Parhelion. But that taps me out of red, because my Mox Opal is my red source. I want to kill Stoneforge Mystic. I'm just going to do that right now. Before they untap, before they can do anything with it. I can play another cookbook, which gets back Daredevil. Yes. And then I can cast a Goblin Engineer, which can do what? Get another Tanglewire? Yeah, I'm just gonna play a control game here. Like, I'm not gonna ram my Parhelion into Swords to Plowshares. Hard pass. This might be a smokestack game. No, what Engineer can't get back smokestack. Never mind. It's not a smokestack game. Oh, they conceded. We won a game. Okay. This was sweet. Forgot about Swords to Plowshares. Jesus, this lines up poorly against the entire Legacy format. Do I want Pyroblasts? I think I want a Braid. And Needle can name Stoneforge Mystic, but I could have Braid Stoneforge Mystic. I could also just outmuscle it. They didn't see Greasefang. If I move Parhelion, like, play 1 fewer of those, and I think Smokestack is huge, Daretti's huge, Daredevil's huge. Is it Opal? Is that a card that I don't want to draw 2 copies of? Yeah, I think I'm just going to chill like this. Just bring 2 Abrades in and leave the rest alone. Okay, I'm going to keep this. It is a 1-lander, but I'm on the draw. Get 2 draw steps before I'm in trouble. And the hand contains Faithless Looting as well, so I get to see 4 cards before I'm in trouble. Okay. Now we're cooking. It's turn 1 Goblin Welder. LFG. They've shown me Stifle as a card in their deck, so luckily... Oh, rest in peace. Yeah, that's a good one. We're gonna have to go from the... Do I even have a plan for this? Like, there was a build where I had prismatic endings in my list, and I just decided not to play that version. But might live to regret that. But at least Azmoran is a 3/3. I can attack with it. Not anymore. Fuck. Alright. Well, my glass cannon is starting to fall apart on me. I have to Faithless Looting here. There's not really another play. Oh no. Parhelion is gone, and I think Tanglewire Smokestack is the only thing that even like resembles a plan here. Discard Parhelion and Goblin Engineer, and then play Azmoran to tutor up another book. Miss my land drop, devastating. If I were on the play this game, I would have Parhelion in play. Just saying. Just floating that information out there. Do what you want with it. I think this Goblin Welder's better off as a food. If Azmoran needs to actually kill something. And then if I'm building up to Tanglewire, have some permanents to tap that I won't miss. Delver. Okay. They're a Stoneforge Delver deck. This is the old, like, Harlan Fear special. Jeskai Delver. Can't block that one. End of turn, I'm gonna make a food. How about Ancient Tomb? Alright, I'll take that. I'm not greedy. Gonna attack with both my creatures. I'll offer any trade they want to give me on these Delvers. Okay, I think... I think Cookbook's gonna discard Cookbook, and I want to keep all of these powerful spells in my hand. Stifle, enter the revealed card zone. Alright. I'm gonna kill a Delver now while I still can. They could... Alright, they didn't brainstorm into Stifle, but now they have Stifle. They could Stifle the tap all your permanents trigger off Tanglewire and just attack for 6. Prismatic Ending. Alright. Alright. This one's over. You got me. If I didn't have Ensnaring Bridge in the deck, I'm gonna need it now. My only out to a rest in peace is Smokestack. Ensnaring Bridge come in. Greasefang come out. Wow, my deck is bad against rest in peace. I could bring in the Trinispheres and just try to get ugly and scrappy against them. It doesn't seem like a good plan, though. Or maybe it's the only plan. Okay, if I bring in Trinisphere, cut up Parhelion. The deck is capable of casting Parhelion. Just saying. Another Trinisphere. And am I cutting a Greasefang? Or a Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer? Goblin Engineer is a way to find Ensnaring Bridge, though. I guess Daredevil, if they're going to be over there with their rest in pieces. Okay, new plan. The plan is them don't have rest in peace, please. This is a mulligan. Not enough mana to make anything happen. This is the opposite problem. Yeah, I can't keep this. Alright, I'll try this one. Feels terrible, though. I think I have to send... Alright, I'm gonna keep... I'm gonna send one of the Spires. I need the other one. I think I have to send Mox Opal. Like, I don't get to turn 1 looting, but I can turn 2 looting. I just can't afford cards that aren't... Like, because Faithless Looting also is card negative. So, like, casting this is kind of like an additional mulligan. They got a Delver on turn 1. That's been a popular choice in this league. Tangle Wire. Do I want to just start tangling? That does delay the rest in peace significantly. I can tangle them for this turn and next turn. I can tangle myself, then play Faithless Looting off my remaining mana. Oh god, they had Wasteland. Alright, I mean, my plan is still the same though. Like, whatever. Top all my permanents, cast Faithless Looting. That just puts them under Tangle Wire for an extra turn. Reball, okay. Faithless Looting, let's go. Ooh. Asmaran is fine. If I discard 3-ball and Looting, I really want to cast this Trinisphere, but I think I have to leave Asmaran in play just as any chance to do anything. Delver flipped, revealing Brainstorm. Alright, they missed their land drop, so they are under this Tangle Wire. I'm going to tap Tangle Wire and Bridge. Goblin Engineer. If I loot here and miss, I think I have to wait a turn on looting. They tap all their shit again this turn. Brainstorm in response. Makes sense. Oh no, Wasteland, no! I was over here with my Trinispheres and Tangle Wires thinking I'm the prison deck, but nope, 2 Wastelands out of the True Name Nemesis deck. Showed me what's what. Land? Shit. Alright. Probably dead here. It's not looking good, team. The Mull to 5 Faithless Looting situation. I mean, it's turn 5, and I haven't taken any damage that I didn't do to myself. But, oh god, Kentucky Wars Wage. Alright, alright. This opponent came ready to party. Rest in peace, Kentucky. Disappointing. On to the final round. Okay, folks. It's become kind of a meme on the channel lately that I never 0-5. And once again, my career is on the line. I have fended off the 0-5, I think 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. I've also 5-0'd a couple times in the last 2 weeks, so give me a break. But a lot's on the line here. I'm going to keep my hand on the play. This is a pretty strong Asmo hand. And I think I want to lead on Bridge and have a big turn 2 rather than have Cookbook in play. We're playing against Burn, and I have a Food Factory. Alright, come on, deck. Now is the time to make this shit happen. Okay. I was going to Faithless Looting into Asmo, but now that I know I'm hungry for all these foods, the calculation changed. I'm going to drop the redundant Asmaran here and cast this one. Like, they can bolt her, but I can tap to gain 3 life, basically, for the rest of the game. I hope that lines up well against Burn, for fuck's sake. I also have a 3/3 in front of their Eidolon, and I can sack 2 foods to kill Eidolon if I care about it at all. Okay. That's a bold play. Come on, Daredevil, to get in front of this. Alright. There's Bridge, and I'm gonna attack. Like, I gotta win this game somehow. Like, if they just Searing Blaze Asmaran and attack, then she didn't do anything. Like, let's Chain Lightning targeting me. I do have red. I can just kill their Eidolon. Oh, but then they can send it back again at Asmo. I'm actually gonna decline. Nah. I'd rather eat food, I think. That was smart of them, leaving up red. If they didn't have it, I definitely would have sent it back, but I'm not taking 6 from 1 spell. Skewer the crit, it's targeting Asmo. Okay. I can let this happen, or I can kill Eidolon on the way out 1 time. Do I think that this Eidolon's going to deal 6 damage? And the answer is probably yes. Okay, I'm going to discard, I think, Tangle Wire. And then I'll kill Eidolon on the way through here. Maybe Asmo wasn't supposed to attack. I don't know. Shit's complicated. I just spent 6 life points to kill that creature. They spent 3 damage. Alright. Come on. Land or mana source for Daretti. Let's get Daretti ripping here. Ooh, Goblin Engineer. That is probably good. I think I want a looting, though. I can still engineer afterwards, but... Oh yeah, Parhelion. Okay. Get that one in the graveyard. And I can engineer for what? Engineer can get smokestack. I could set up looping tangle wires. I really want Daretti. All right, I'll discard the redundant cookbook, and I'm gonna play engineer. Engineer can put tangle wire in the bin. There already is one, but then I can start looping them. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm probably gonna have to discard this Mox Opal to make a food just to be alive. If I even get to be alive. Oh, okay, never mind. That plan's over. Alright, now I actually have to apply damage to my opponent. Okay, that was actually a great draw. Great draw. I'm at effectively 8, and they have 3 cards in hand. That's a lot. But Tangle Wire is a nasty, nasty monster. Okay, Great Furnace. Daretti. Mox Opal. I'm gonna flip Tangle Wire into Cookbook. And then I'm gonna flip Parhelion into Great Furnace. And gotta come up with 3 more power somewhere. All right, how many instants do you have? Oh, Price of Progress? Shit. Well, gotta win next turn. Oh, no! The last 2 cards in your hand are instants that deal 10? God damn it. Alright, fine, fine, fine. That Eidolon turn is gonna haunt me. If I, like, don't attack with Asmo, I'm at 2 there. I fucked that up. Could have gained 3 life somewhere. A Braid can answer their creatures. I do think that... Alright, I think Smokestack is way too slow for the matchup. Gonna shave a Parhelion and shave a Daredevil. Or no, Daretti is probably too slow for the matchup. Okay. I think if I knew perfectly what they were going to do for the rest of the game, I think I had options there to win that one. Like with the cards that I drew, that game was probably winnable. Main deck Price of Progress. I guess that's normal and burn. Never mind. I'm thinking of Delver where it comes out of the sideboard. What does this do? I have a fast Goblin Engineer, but does that matter in the matchup? Does that do anything? Goblin Engineer, I guess, could, like, tutor for... Alright, I'm gonna keep this. Engineer can tutor for Cookbook, which Daredevil can rip with. I don't know. Might be a pipe dream to expect the game to last that long, but I'm gonna try. Goblin Guide. Okay. This thing's gonna deal at least 6 on its own. Revealed Overchase Daredevil. I already have one of those, thanks deck. Spire. I'm gonna play Opal now to get it ahead of Eidolon. And then Engineer. I could dump Trinisphere, but I'm already behind. Like, that's not even helpful. Opal isn't on. Oh, Opal could be on next turn. Yeah, I think I just need Cookbook and to be alive. Alright, I'll take the thing that gains life in the burn matchup. Might be too slow. There was a line where I get Trinisphere, Weld, or no, then I have the same number of lands to play. Alright, yeah. Or artifacts, doesn't matter. Smash my Opal. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Goblin Welder on top of my deck. I'm going to turn Cookbook into Bridge, play Spire of Industry, and probably just want to start gaining life. Or do I have to commit? Alright, I'm going to play Goblin Welder. I don't think I'm winning a game without Goblin Welder in play. And if I die, I die. Is this the Sulfuric Vortex? Or am I just dead right now? 5 cards in hand. It could definitely happen. Smash to smithereens. All right, I'll get a food out of this at least. But I am at 6. And they're about to attack for 2, which makes Fire Blast lethal all on its own. I have to block this Goblin Guide. That sucks so hard. And Greasefang is on top of my deck, but I don't have a Parhelion. And it was not even close to lethal anyway. Oh my god. This has been a complete disaster. I can pay a life to sack my food to get Underworld Cookbook back, which I can then pay 2 life to eat the food. And I effectively, it's completely life point neutral to get Cookbook back in play, which would normally be good, except I'm already dead to this Goblin Guide. I guess I'll just pass the turn. It looks like it's finally happened. The 05 is upon us. My opponent has 3 cards in their hand. I'm at 6. Not much to be done here. Trinisphere on top of my deck. They have 4 lands now. That doesn't matter. I'll eat the food, get burned out in response. Okay, I'm at 7. Even casting Trinisphere would put me to 5. Just idle on. My Spires don't tap for colors now. Can't even play Daredevil. Alright. That was rough. Alright. I fended off the 05 for a while with a few suspicious brews, but it finally caught up to me. And it's not about winning and losing. It's about learning. And I am awarding this the Thomas Edison Award of something we learned doesn't work. And it's something I knew when I got the deck building challenge, and I did my best to mitigate. But the reality is, Greasefang Okiba Boss, being a creature that requires you to resolve a trigger and then also still have this creature in play after that trigger resolves. And then the payoff for doing all this is attacking for 13 and then having 2 angels behind. You got to get Parhelion in your graveyard, resolve this 4/3 creature, this 3-drop, pass the phase, and then do all that. And your opponent can't have a Disenchant or a Swords to Plowshares or anything. And basically, while this play might be insanely powerful in Historic, it might be defensible in Pioneer, it starts to not even be good in Modern anymore once Lightning Bolt is a card that's on the table. And then here in Legacy, where like everything answers it, it's just not really even defensible anymore. In Legacy, you can spend 2 mana on Entomb and Reanimate and put Grizzlebrand into play. So spending whatever you need to do to get Parhelion into the graveyard, 3 mana on Greasefang, and then check all the boxes along the way, resolve your triggers, still have your thing in play, etc., etc., get to declare combat with Parhelion without it dying. Just, it's too far removed from the Legacy power level to really be a thing that is defensible. I tried to cook it into this deck full of Legacy cards, and even these are suspicious. Let me be clear. I think that the 8 Goblin Welder, Tanglewire, Smokestack, Daretti thing is reasonable enough. I have happily played all of those cards in Legacy before. If you search MTG Goldfish, you will find 5-0 decks that contain those cards. Even Azmoran in these artifact shells. There are lists out there that have had success with this. It is this, the Parhelion Greasefang combo. Even if we like play this exact deck outside of these 6 cards as just an artifact reanimator deck, like replace Greasefang with some more disruptive elements, maybe main deck your Trinispheres or something, and turn Parhelion into like Sundering Titan and 2 Wormcoil Engines, I think this deck gets a million times better. You're just asking too much of the deck in the Legacy power level card pool to do the Greasefang thing. Parhelion was in play 1 time during this league. It never attacked. We did win the game where it was in play. I had the time to maneuver into a spot where it's safe to attack with it, but my opponent conceded before I got to do it. We never once triggered Greasefang. Greasefang was in play once or twice, but never with Parhelion in the graveyard. Every deck has Meltdown in it. Every deck has Surgical Extraction in it. Pernicious Deed. We saw Kataki War's Wage. We are susceptible to all normal things played in Legacy, just Lightning Bolt and Swords to Plowshares, and then overlapping sideboard hate with both Reanimator and 8-Cast. These are all things that I could have told you an hour and a half ago before we started playing the league, but it never hurts to put something down the cannon and just see what sticks. And it turns out this did not stick. And that's okay, because we had fun along the way. Noyan, thank you for this brew challenge. Sorry we didn't win any matches, but at least we know that Greasefang is not a legacy card. I haven't even mentioned Caracas. Like, if your opponent just has Caracas in play, you'll never get into combat with a Greasefang. Anyway, okay. I'm going to stop saying all the things that break this combo up because it's basically every piece of interaction in the format. I'm going to leave it at that. Keep your Greasefangs in Pioneer and Historic where it's at an appropriate power level, and in Legacy, play Reanimate and Entomb. That's my sage advice for the day. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.